Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about the Dungeons & Dragons Canon Slipcase, a huge new change in the history of Dungeons & Dragons. So we just got our second Dungeons & Dragons Canon Slipcase, right? So this is a product that exists in a slipcase as its primary distribution model. We got Spelljammer I think we got Spelljammer in 2022. And we got Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse in 2023. And these are both Dungeons & Dragons Canon slipcases. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, we've had Dungeons & Dragons Canon hardbacks for decades. We've had it since about 1978. And we've had them in every single edition, right? Very big deal. Very real, right? Change for Dungeons & Dragons. And Dungeons & Dragons has been producing these D&D Canon hardbacks, and they have made that book in that shape with that cover, right? That hard knock cover, a little bigger than 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, right? A big chunky book, right? We've had it for a long time, and it's a really big deal. Why is it a big deal, right? Well, the reality is it's set the standard of quality for the OSR and the indie TRPG activity scene. And it's driven that, like they were like, hey, we see your cute little soft cover, you can throw that junk away. It's D&D Canon hardbacks now. It's a Canon hardback, right? And then they were like, hey, we see your cute little, black and white art, your black and white layout Traveler, it's junk, throw it out. Everything's full color. And we've been doing that since 3rd edition, right? Just like a Canon hardback is full color since 3rd edition, and Dungeons & Dragons embarrasses OSR and indie into actually achieving quality. OSR and indie never do quality on their own. They're always embarrassed into it by Dungeons & Dragons, in my humble opinion. But the slipcase is huge. The D&D Canon, so the D&D Canon hardback's been there for a long time. The D&D Canon slipcase comes forward, and it's huge. Why is it a big deal? Well, here's why. Because Dungeons & Dragons tells us who we are, okay? And when I was in high school, I was shoving, I had, the DMG, the PHB, and the MM, and I shoved them in my backpack. And I literally remember, right, that I would read through them on the bus, and I would get to school, and there would be books missing that I needed for school, because I could not travel without those 3 D&D Canon hardbacks. And I was like, I'm the guy who sits on the bus while everybody else is screaming their heads off and reads hundreds of pages so I can build a world for 4 people I care about. And those 4 people will remember this story forever. They'll take it to their grave, right? And when they're ghosts, they'll call it out in the houses they haunt, right? And it really changed my perception, right? Now, right? I sat down last night and I pulled out the Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse, D&D Canon slipcase, and I sat on the couch and read through the second D&D Canon slipcase, saying, this is now a series. This is the new standard of quality for all tabletop role-playing games, and the OSR and the indie. All of them will be better because they've been embarrassed into quality again, right? They've been dragged into quality. And this book that I hold in my hand will make sure that literally over 1,000 different companies understand what quality is, right? Because D&D sets the quality standard across the board, right? Every now and then there's a spike on the OSR or the indie side. Morkborg, I would call it a spike. It did something truly unique, but at the macro level, OSR and indie are always embarrassed into quality. They never go there on their own, right? And so basically now, I loved just sitting down and reading this. But I'm thinking about, what about that, that person who's in, that young person who grabs that D&D, slipcase, that D&D Canon slipcase, and just holds that fat, thick case for books, right? And it's going to move them even faster to realizing they need a library. They're like, I have a case for these books for Planescape, but I don't have a case for my books, right? And it's going to move them very quickly, right? Very early ages of saying, I'm a person with a library. I am a person who has personal libraries, right? D&D Beyond is my digital library. And this book, this gigantic, fat, heavy thing that, that just has heft in my hand, right, is saying to me that for me, books are more serious than anyone else. And that I am a world builder. And it's going to accelerate that, right? They're going to be like, I need bookshelves in my room. These can't just sit on the floor, right? Like with my dirty laundry, and the literal physical talisman is going to accelerate those people realizing who they are, right? World builders, people who will eschew for the rest of their life the creation of anything tangible, right? And saying, I create with my mind, I create with my heart, I create with my spirit, right? Tangible things are nothing to me except these books, right? And that it's a fundamental expression of telling these people, this is who you are, this is what you are, right? Your world is intangible. You care about other things that others can't see, right? You are different. You are a world breaker. You are a world shaker. You are a world maker. And no one you meet today is on your frequency, your level, your resonance. It's big. It's huge, right? And I really think it's really special and unique, right? And this physical talisman is going to inform people what I was informed of by the D&D Canon hardback. But it's going to do it faster, right? Like, just the weight of this thing, right? Like, if the raccoon under your porch were to come into your house, you could kill it with this, right? Like, bump, right? It's the heft of it is significant, but its physical weight is just a talisman for the worlds it holds. Literally, the Planescape Adventures in Multiverse are saying this book is literally 16 gates to 16 different worlds. We are telling you, your life is different. Everything you care about is different. Everything you're going to, the way you will think, the way you will adventure, the identities you will hold, you are not a normal human anymore. And I think holding that D&D Canon slipcase is a physical reminder that will get people there much, much faster. And that's exciting. Every single word of that is exciting, and my humble opinion. And what's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.